InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
Coming up?
Yeah, massively so. It's nice to be on the other side of a WTM, or VTM as it is now, championship, and actually be commentating on it and not actually racing. So yeah, it's going to be a good fun. We've got some new cars as well for you, so plenty to talk about and plenty to watch, and there's some quality drivers as well.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, this is your first season not driving these cars.
Yeah, since I joined the TPS, I've been in every single World Touring Masters League, and obviously with the name change to VTM, I'm back behind the commentary mic as well. I haven't been commentating for a while either, so I'm looking forward to it.
So we got a little cobwebs to dust off, but we got lots to talk about. It's I've been kind of a ghost, and it's nice to be back, getting reacquainted with some of these guys that been around for so long, and seeing them drive some new cars is pretty exciting. So, but a couple of changes that have come up this season. We've now switched mods, and Toby is the tech guru here that can give you a bit of information as to what you can expect from this mod we've now switched to for this season of the Virtual Touring Masters.
Yeah, so basically before we were driving in late 80s Group B cars. So we had the Sierras, we had the Holdens, and so on. What we've done is we've switched to a historic German league, basically, which is called the DRM League, the Deutsche Rennsportmeisterschaft, which literally translates to the German Racing Championship. But anyway, it's powerful cars, much more powerful than we're used to. You've got quite a wide range again of differing specs in the cars. We've got 5 different cars to pick from, and people have gone for quite a wide range of those. The Porsche seems to be the most popular, and that's what we're watching right now. Matej Orban going round Rivage into the left-hander with no name, and the most powerful of these cars is the BMW M1, which has something crazy like 600 brake horsepower. That's a Lancia.
Just trying to get on board with one.
Have fun finding one. Ross McGregor in a Porsche. Anyway, that's the most powerful of the cars, and you'll see that's therefore got the highest top speed. The Porsches are a 4-speed. That's another Lancia you're looking at.
Yep, I'm not doing so good finding the BMW.
There is a couple in the field. We've got Simon Shepherd's in one. Okay. Eric Tveit is in one. Leudemann is in one as well.
We'll come across one, but I'm just going to zoom through. You keep talking about the cars because the people are going to want to know what they can expect in the different avenues. I know one thing I got from Robert Wiesemuller was he says that out pace Thalberg does have him with his car, just car-wise, but he's not sure how the tire wear is because he knows that he can go the entire race without having to pit, and he believes that is the strength of the car that he is in.
That's the thing. Yeah, I mean, RW is in a Toyota Celica, which is one of the lower powered cars, but it's probably got more mid-corner speed than the Porsche, and more mid-corner speed than the M1. Just to put it in perspective, the M1's got 600 brake horsepower. The Porsche has got about 450, but it weighs less than a ton. You look at the Celica, that's got about 400, but it weighs 900 kilos. So you can see there's advantages and disadvantages of each car. So people have selected it based on the track listing, and if we bring up the calendar for you, we'll show you what we've got coming up in the season.
And this just gives you a look into it. We've now changed the flyers as well. Mr. Ryan Callan has done a great job giving us a little bit more color, a little more. I don't know what the word is. It's a little more
pizzazz.
Yeah, let's go with pizzazz, because that's a word that we could definitely associate with Mr. Ryan Callan, who is definitely the backbone of TouringProSeries, and I have to give a huge shout out to him for all of his efforts and everyone that does assist him behind the scenes, because we all know that level of involvement kind of wavers from time to time due to my other obligations, but I do so enjoy being here. It's great to be back in the booth and just being involved again.
Yeah. So, if you look at the tracks, we've got Spa, of course, just to kick us off, give us a bit of familiarity with the old WTM seasons. Of course, we've got Salzburg in there as well, which returned. Nice to see that back in the calendar. That's a high-speed track, so it is going to favour the cars with more top speed. Cleveland's in the track for the first time, which is a nice little sort of airport track. A couple of nice chicanes, and again, it's about power and speed. And Hockenheim is the same. It's the 1988 layout, so not the new Hermann Tilke ruined version. It's the one that burns through the forests, and we'll see lots of slipstreaming there. Österreichring we've got in the calendar. That's the historic 1976 layout, which is of period, which these cars sort of vary from 75 to mid 80s in terms of their vintage. And we got Fuji 1992 layout. That's the one with the chicane towards the end of the lap, which stopped you going flat out around the final corner with a wall about a metre away from the edge of the track. So and it's obviously got a massively long back straight as well, Fuji, so it'll be interesting to see that. And of course we finish with Bathurst, Mount Panorama. What else could we finish with, really, Keith?
Well, I mean, it's definitely one for the books, that track, and I know, Toby, you've had your ups and downs with that track. I had a feeling you probably knew that was coming. But needless to say, it's a great way to end off a series, and it is nostalgic for so many reasons. But a really exciting calendar, should prove some great racing. It's nice to see a few names that I'm not familiar with, but it's nice to see guys running just a different car. It's got a different feel. I mean, it was a blast with WTM the past few seasons. Commentating with actually Ryan, I did it with Liam Jenkins as well too. It was a blast. I mean, it's another step forward, and obviously we're looking towards the future now with the new sims coming out that we've got to look forward to. Things will be changing consistently. Yeah,
we've got a Assetto Corsa coming out. Of course, that's just recently been released, and that should be the future, I would say.
Yes.
Obviously, rFactor 2 needs to be sorted, but if and when that happens, then that's the other alternative. But for now, we're sticking on rFactor, aren't we? So.
Well, we will just take a quick break. We're just going to go on calm silent. We'll leave you with the action that you've got on the track here if you are viewing. We're just going to try to sort a quick problem out, so just hold tight. We'll be right back.
Okay, so I'm back. At least Keith's just fixing a problem dead quick, so hopefully we'll get that rectified in order for everyone to be able to watch the stream. But effectively, this is a fresh start for everyone, really. We've got Jesper as the reigning champion, and he's managed to pick a car livery with the number 1 on it as a result. And he is looking forward to defending his title, I've been assured. We will see whether that is actually the case over the course of the season, but there are plenty of good drivers around, and one of which is Gary Lennon, of course. We've got RW, Robert Wiesenmuller, who is a TPS champion, a current TPS champion actually. He won the last season of the Virtual Mini Challenge. Ross McGregor, of course, he's been up there over the past couple of seasons. He was actually in the top 3 in the championship in the most recent V8 championship, so he's looking strong. And then you can see they're all within a couple of tenths of each other, which looks very exciting for the race ahead. We all know that Jesper Talborg dominated the last time we were here at Spa in the World Touring Masters, but of course different kettle of fish with these cars, a completely different way to drive them, and it's all about the power input and how you can hold on to the rear tyres, because they have so much power and the tyres aren't actually that grippy either, and although they look great with all these wings, the downforce isn't that great. So it's all about applying the power and keeping the rear tyres in check. And you can see Gary, even through that fast left-hander at Blanchimont, he was sideways on the power on the exit of the corner. So 2 Martini liveries as well in one shot. That's nice. We also have 1 or 2 newcomers to Touring Pro Series who have joined for this championship. One of which I believe, let me just scroll through the field and find him for you. We've got the Anderson brothers, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, they might be father and son. Obviously we've got Tony Matthews has returned. Stefan, this will be fun. Pierre Kowski, he's joined us for the first time as well. And we've got 1 or 2 others who have signed up, who are not actually in the server at the moment. They may be rejoining. So it'll be interesting to see whether these guys are up near the front or not. Obviously Matej Orban has been a WTM regular over the last couple of seasons. You can see he's actually purple, but that's a little bit of a misnomer, because of course Robert Wiesemuller is in a lower powered car and the first sector is all about power, so you'd expect the guys in the slightly less powered cars to have a poorer first sector, and that's what's happened with Robert Wiesemuller. As we head into qualifying, just 45 seconds remaining of the practice session. And it's interesting to see whether people are hiding their pace or whether they are actually doing qualifying runs. I would expect at this point people are doing qualifying runs. If you're going to hide your pace, you'd hide it several days before. There's not much you can do about someone who's incredibly quick right now.
Well, certainly, just a quick update. All is well. Got the TouringProSeries.com/broadcast page is now up and running properly. It was just a small error. I believe it had to do with the broadcast that was unable to go up for the VMC race. The VMC? Yes.
VSS.
Oh, VSS. Sorry. Yes. It was just a small change on the website, so we're back up and running just in time to go into qualifying, which for the entire season will be open, unlimited laps, 15 minutes of qualifying, which always proves exciting because you know what it's like in qualifying. You're trying to just squeak out that little bit of time, and you get to start a lap just with a second left of practice, and then you get to be the guy who could possibly steal that pole position and create some exciting moments like we've always seemed to have here in the Touring Pro Series. We
always seem to have at this particular track as well, to be honest.
Yes.
Do you remember last season?
Yes, I do. There's an infamous photo, well, not infamous, but an absolutely incredible photo of Toby Talberg, Toby, Jesper Talberg, and Florian Strauss, who is Florian Strauss is now a worldie, known worldwide for his winning of the GT. What is it? The GT Challenge?
GT Academy.
Sorry, I don't follow that business, so.
It's on the wrong platform, isn't it, Keith?
Yeah, but they crossed the line within, what was it, less than 100
200. Myself and Jesper Talborg set identical lap times, and Florian Strauss was 200ths behind us. That's how tight it was last season.
It was absolutely incredible. That was definitely a moment, because you consider how long these laps are.
No doubt. Last season it was 2 minutes 30. We're seeing slightly quicker times actually, Keith.
Yes.
About 15-16 seconds quicker. So obviously the cars are quicker. It's a completely different mod, of course, but they're much more powerful and should be harder to drive as a result. So I think you see slightly bigger differences from the top to the bottom of the field, but we'll see.
Definitely, and we got 22 laps here, so it's definitely not a short race. It will be a race of attrition, and as the tires do start to go off on these cars, you'll see guys either struggling, guys who have maintained their tire wear, like we've seen in some other series, like the Tom Onslow Cole Clio series we had. It's a lot of strategy, but when you got guys like Talberg, who is basically he's class of the field anytime he gets on track. He is basically the guy to beat every time he gets out there.
Hello.
But Robert Wiesenmuller, who is also TPS champion, goes out and he gives himself a little bit of a rinse there.
That just shows you exactly how hard these cars are to drive. It's cold tyres, he's locked the brakes, locked the rear brakes, slid it into the corner, and and this is a TPS champion we're talking about here. He's no slouch.
No, exactly.
Look at the way it squirms under power as well. These cars are absolutely savage.
Yes, they are. I mean, it's just aggressive driving needed. You just basically got to manhandle these beasts. But it'll be interesting to see how these guys handle the cars. Talberg seems to have out-and-out pace, as Robert Wiesenmuller had told me early on, but he's just not sure how he's going to fare over the length of the race with his tires. Yeah. But Talberg will be starting a flying lap here, so this will be a great way to start them through. Maybe you'll walk the viewers through a lap around Spa. Yeah,
no doubt. It's first time then for the next season of the Virtual Touring Masters, and Jesper Talborg has already gone through last source. Here we are in the infamous Eau Rouge, almost flat in these cars. You've got a bit of a lift and a bit of a down change, but Talborg gets through there okay. Obviously the Porsche is a 4-speed, so he probably hasn't down changed through there, but back down the Radion straight and into the right-left of Les Combes, and Talborg just gets it in nicely in the end. Bit of a wiggle on corner entry. Thankfully that Martini Lancia gets out of the way, and he takes a nice apex through there as well. You don't want to run too wide onto the grass, it's very bumpy as we head into Rivage, and a nice early entry would be good, and he's got it in, and he will keep to the right hand side of the track for the left hander with no name, and exit onto a short shoot into the double left hander. And here, this is where you've got to make it count on the first apex. The second part of the corner of Pouhon is almost flat. You can make it just about flat if you get the line right, and Talborg manages to make the apex of both corners, so this is looking pretty handy so far. A couple of minor mistakes, so it's going to be a good banker. Get it into the right-hander part of the chicane and into the left-hander. It's possibly a small lift in the middle of that just to get the car settled, and into the double right-hander through here in Stavolo, and he gets a lot of curb there but gets away with it, keeps the car straight through the second part. You can see the car not quite taking a set there, a little bit of understeer mid-corner. That's a trait with the Porsche, of course. They are rear engine, so much more tricky to drive than one or two other cars. They will understeer and give you snap understeer. Through Blanchimont then, massive amounts of commitment required. Talborg does run a little bit wide on the grass. That will cost him a few tenths as he heads into the final bus stop chicane. It's a left and a right, and he takes a lot of curb, gets it right through the right and the left, and that is a lap of Spa-Francorchamps. And let's see if this is a 13 or a mid-14 I expect it to be.
Yeah, it's a 14-1.
Yeah, not too bad.
Not too bad. A good banker lap, though. Like you said, it's important to get those laps in. Gary Lennon gets his lap, obviously, a little trouble there. Wiesenmuller will be coming across. I know he got around there, so that wouldn't have been on his out. That would have been on his outlap.
That was on his outlap with cold tires and brakes, so probably would have helped him warm them up.
14.6 for McGregor. Bregman down to a 15.1. It should be. I have a feeling it's going to be extremely tight through the midfield. Probably talking a couple tenths separating, probably close to 10 drivers. I have a feeling, but up front you'll see probably Talberg, Wiesenmuller, Orban might be able to squeeze some more time. He was always a little wiggle there from Wiesenmuller, but Orban always seemed to be just sneaking around the top 5 in WTM at all times. So it'd be nice to see if he could pull off a win here this season in the VTM.
Yeah, he's in the right car, I think. The Porsche does look very strong, and it's a very good car over a lot of tracks. And you see how much time Robert made up through that final sector down on Jesper. It's purely because of the cornering speed through Blanchimont and the... Oh, hello! He's in the wall. In the wall. No thanks, I'll restart that one.
You get banked on 14.3, so
it's good lap time. It's good lap time. I think the pole will be a 13, but the laps are so long that you've only really got 3 runs. So you've got to do an outlap and your qualifying lap, and even if you escape straight away, it's 4 minutes 30 per run, so you probably can only get 3 in, considering the session length.
Yeah, it's really key to capitalize on the time that you've got here, but such long laps, it's difficult, especially if you get caught up behind a car, because I mean, if you lose even a second in one lap by trying to go by someone who's a little bit slower than you, McGregor eating a little bit of curb, gets up on 2. Wow, that's a little hairy there from McGregor, and he obviously was having a pretty good lap to only be 9/10 back after being up on 2 wheels.
Yeah, he absolutely nailed the first sector. That's why I headed to him, but middle sector not so great. But he's doing a second lap, which is interesting. Oh, keep it out the wall. Yeah, he's doing a second lap, which is interesting. So I wonder if he's going to do a third. He might have fueled up for 3 laps here. The tyres don't go off that quickly. They do go off, but it's one of those. It's probably better with such a long lap length to actually stay out and do a few more laps. He's ruined his entry to the hairpin.
Yeah, and he's going to lose a bit of entry speed coming off that corner there, but he's a seasoned veteran, so he knows what he's doing. Raul Pereira goes to second with a 14.2, who now takes the spot away from Wiesemuller. So Thalberg, Pereira, Wiesemuller, Orban, and McGregor is your top 5 currently.
Very interesting that we've got a different car up there as well. Yes. You can see that they've obviously got. That's a Lancia you're looking at right there, and a Lancia is a little bit lower powered than the Porsche as well, and even it's probably the lowest powered car on the track right now. So it shows that even on a track with such long straights and such a long first sector, it can make it all up in the middle sector. And Pereira, I missed his first sector time, but I think he was probably down by about half a second or so. He'll make it all up in this middle sector where it's all about the turns and all about the cornering speed.
It's just very stable, that car looks like.
Looks much easier to drive, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's and you know what? It's something to be said that maybe over the length of this race, that might play into his favor as the tires start to go off.
Completely different sound as well. The aggressive nature of the Porsche. This is much more what you'd expect someone who's imported a Japanese car into the UK and decided to buy it for stupid money. But you'd expect it to sound like that. That's what this sounds like.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who in just a little further back might be able to squeak a timeout and get closer to these guys, possibly breaking into the top 5. Just wondering if Reese Gardner might have the pace. Possibly, yeah. Pedro Amaral, possibly.
Yeah.
But again, qualifying's one thing, racing's another.
Yeah, you got it. It's Lars Brugman was showing good times in practice. He was up there, and his times were pretty good. They were better than the time he's got at the moment. So I'd expect him to improve. I want to head to Robert Wiesemuller because I believe he started a lap as he has. I don't know. I think he's abandoned it as I went to him there.
Oh, commentator's curse.
We still have Talbot's on an out lap.
We still have Eric Tveit is now in the server late, typical. It is M1, and he's actually out, I believe, setting a lap. He's on his out lap at the moment.
He's on the fly.
Oh, he's on the fly. Okay, yeah. Perfect. Dark horse possibly. Also, Scott Sovic had left the game. Where probably will be back, but I'll be curious to see because I don't think did Tveit get a time in practice. I don't think I saw him.
I didn't see him. No.
I think he was sneakily just hiding off. It's either that or he just completely forgot it was race day. Or he could have forgot his helmet in the trailer.
We'll see what his lap times are like because he's in an M1 which is immense in the straight line. But you watch him on board now, it's a horrendous car to drive through corners. Honestly, you can be the most talented person in the world and not be able to drive this straight.
Oh, he's just wiggle. 2 seconds down currently, but I mean, he just got in the server. If he's got enough fuel, he should get out there. He probably could get another 2 laps in. But
that's what I do. I get back to the pits now, fuel it up for 2 laps, and do 2 laps and see what I could do. But it'll make some time up, you see, through these straights. So, and if you can nail the chicane, this car doesn't stop. By the way.
Rob Taplin just did a 2:15.585 to slot into the 7th position. Oh no! Eric
see the speed difference then between that and the Lancia. I don't know exactly who's in the blue Lancia. It's Tony Matthews in the blue Lancia. It's just so different, isn't it?
Yeah. He could. That was quite the difference there. Reese Gardner slots into 6th with a 2:14.767. Orban's gone purple. He's 0.6 or 0.02 of a second up on Talberg currently, sitting in 4th place. So Matej Orban,
and he's in the same car, so you'd expect his final sector to be similar as well. So he might carry this through.
Absolutely. Well, let's see what he's got in the final sector. Just got to keep it clean. Try not to drop a wheel and just avoid any walls. It goes without saying.
He's got the final chicane to navigate, which he's done pretty well. He's managed to take loads of curve as well. What do you think this is pole?
I don't know. Matej Orban looking to take a pole right out to the wall. He's going to cross the line first. He takes the pole. 13.9 down into the 13s. Matej Orban takes provisional pole.
Fantastic, but Jesper is also on a lap, and I don't know whether he's improving. It doesn't say he's on the green sector at the moment, but he is coming towards the final chicane. He'll have time for at least one more lap, and if he's got enough fuel, he can get 2 in, because he'll start the clock before the checker flag is out. Let's see as he comes across the line now. He's got a 13.9 to beat. It's not going to be good enough.
No, not
so
good enough.
14.5, but he's on another lap. So let's see what Talbot can do. Raul Pereira is on an outlap. Robert Wiesenmuller, he's coming towards sector 2. This is where I'd expect Wiesenmuller to be down at the moment, but he makes it up in the final sector. We've seen that before. He's 3/10 up.
Oh,
look at this, Keith.
Wow, look at that final sector 2. There's not a lot to this where you can mess up. I mean, he's just got to keep it all together and just make it happen. I mean, this is it. Wiesenmuller could take the first pole this season, but there's still time though. You cannot.
There's still time.
Oh, look at that. Oh, a little loose. Oh, jeez. I mean, that's the kind of stuff the hair stands up on your arms.
Talbot goes up.
Purple.
Let's see what Ardovia can do. He's in the final chicane. Talbot's gone 1/10 purple, but he's on a similar car to Orban, so that is equivalent.
I think this is pole for Wiesenmuller. Right out to the wall. Crosses it 13.
Look at that!
Takes him 4/10 over Orban. Now, is Orban still on the track?
Orban's still on the track.
Okay, so we'll find out if he's purple in a second here. Talberg is purple through the first sector. Orban is going to be coming up to the second sector, I believe.
Yep.
So Talberg, we will find out shortly. Orban is not up. He's 0.8 off, so that is going to be Orban. He's going to be second or worse.
Well, if he finishes this lap and he's got enough fuel, he will be able to do another lap. But I don't know if his tyres can hold up. It is a bit about tyres this championship. So we'll see how that goes. Talbot's missed that apex completely. Just the nose of the car wandered off towards Holland somewhere.
Still purple. So we're going to find out in a couple seconds here. Is he going to get ahead of Wiesenmuller? That's a cracking lap by RW. Oh, this is tough. I don't know if he can make that up in this final sector, unless he can just hit that chicane perfectly. That's
all he can do. But RW has been strong in the final sector. As a result of his car's tendencies, and of course he's nailed that final chicane as well. But Talbot, he's got to do something magic through the first stop chicane. He's lost a little bit of time running wide there, but he's not too bad. Let's see through the final chicane. Plenty of curb.
Oh, look, he got a great exit off of there. I don't know, man. This is a good run coming to the line. Talberg looking to take down RW for the pole. No. 0.8. He slots ahead of Orban to a 13.873.
Orban's in the pits. He's out. He's out of qualifying now. So
now Raul Pereira, quietly while we were watching this, he is slotted to a 4th with a 2:14.2, which is a very good, respectable time. Because we were talking about stability in his car. McGregor at a 14.4, Gardner at a 14.7, Bergman at a 14.9, Toplin at a 15.457. So he did improve up to the 8th position by a 10th over the last time we saw.
Yeah, he's put himself right in the shower, hasn't he, Rob Taplin? Talbot is 3/10 up in the first sector, but of course that car is strong in the first sector.
Oh, look at that, Talberg 3/10.
Yeah, he weren't paying attention to what I was just saying, but he's that first sector you'd expect him to be quicker than RW through there, because the car is quicker in a straight line. So we saw that he lost a bit of time through the second sector. That got him to, was a 10th off of RW. So I don't know if he can keep himself within like 2/10 up on RW, he should be able to slot in there. I don't know. It's going to be tough. Oh, look at that! It's a beautiful shot coming around there. It just got the nose in. It was trying to understeer away from me. It's snap understeer of this car. It really, really is horrendous when you turn in. It just tries to drive you off to another planet. But he's doing well so far. He's kept the apexes nicely. That's where he lost time the last lap, I would guess. I'd expect him to be up at the moment. and he is. Let's see if he can maintain this through the final sector, because that's where Wiesenmüller's strong.
Yeah, well, he was so he's 0.084 ahead at the current moment. If he can pull this off, it's going to need to be a perfect final sector, and so much can go wrong.
Oh, he's missed the apex.
He missed it. He missed it. That's it.
I don't think this is going to be pole now. I was. Oh, if he'd have nailed it, maybe.
Yeah, that affects everything. His entire run up to that chicane. That's going to be it. Matej Orban is the 13.9. So let's see. Talbot crosses the line. Can he do it? No. He improves, but
no.
He lost 0.3 with that wiggle.
Yeah, definitely. He missed the apex completely of the corner. You can grab a tiny bit of grass to help pull the car around, and he just missed that. Salsa Ferreira drops. Oh, look at this! Oh, sorry. I was just. I got excited then. Talbot obviously slight pit glitch when you go back to the pits. Lars Brugman up into 8th place. Is there anyone actually on a lap right now?
David Yunt crosses the Lund, and he actually jumps up to 11th, so respectable for him, but keeps him in with Ockerklinth, Amaral, Rosemeyer, Shepard, and Carlos Ortiz, so fairly close there. I think this is everyone. Owen Anderson's going to bail on that lap and just call it quits.
Tveit, where is Tveit? Has he even done a lap time?
Do you know that every time I commentate, when Tveit
he's not even
racing,
done a lap time.
I see this more often than I see him actually do a qualifying, and then I end up talking about how he's having a great run through, and if he just got a good qualifying, would have done well. So maybe he's going for the hard charger award, which doesn't exist, or he likes the theatrics. I don't know. We'll never know. But we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in a minute. We'll give you a rundown on where everyone qualified. Be right back.
InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
Well, we are back here live from Spa for the first round of the Virtual Touring Masters. We have just finished qualifying. We have 3 minutes 20 seconds until we get started here for the first round. We will be racing here for a total of 22 laps, but we were going to run down the grid and see where everyone qualified for this race, and Toby will give you a quick rundown.
So a fantastic lap by Robert Wiesenmüller in his Toyota Celica puts him on pole position, and it was a great lap. It was significantly faster than Jesper Talborg. 2/10 doesn't sound like a lot, but it is when it's Jesper. Jesper's sitting pretty though in second place, and he has got the more powerful car in his Porsche, so you'd expect him to try and take the lead before they get to Les Combes on the back straight. Matej Orban, another great lap from him, and he looks good in these cars. I would predict him for a dark horse, perhaps an outside shot at a race win at some point. He's alongside Raul Pereira, who's in a Lancia, so you can see you've got 3 different cars in the top 4, which is great to see. Then you've got Ross McGregor and Gary Lennon, 2 Scots on the 3rd row, both in Porsches. Reece Gardner, who's racing in Australia, he's in another Lancia alongside Lars Brugman, who's done a very good time actually to get himself up into 8th position. The Celica is not an easy car to drive. Rob Taplin sneaks into the top 10 in the first of the Capris. He's alongside Bruno Salsa Ferreira, who just snuck in at the final moment. David Yunt in another Capri in 11th place. Jonathan Ockerklint in a Lancia. He's a couple of seconds back from the pole position. He's done a 2:15.9. He's in another Lancia. Very close times to him is Pedro Amaral behind him in a Porsche. He's alongside Rosemeyer in the Capri. Simon Shepard, the first of the M1s. They're my favourite cars out of the bunch, and he is on row. What row is that? That's row 8 alongside Carlos Ortiz. Ethan Bass, another Scotsman, he's in the 935 alongside Oyvind Anderson. Tor Anderson is alongside Andy Bernard and Łukasz Demelin and Tomasz Demelin.
The brothers close again.
They're alongside each other, 21st and 22nd. Piakovsky, Keith's going to find that one fun, in the M1. Practice that now, Keith.
Piakovsky.
There you go. He's alongside Scott Cervic, who is in the Capri, and behind them in last place, or I should say 26th, so he doesn't feel so bad, Eric Zweit, who is in M1. He didn't set a lap time. Expect him to come burning through the field. He in that M1. I honestly, it's the easiest car to overtake. It's got about 20 mile an hour on the Lancia, so you'll see a massive difference in speed. I do worry about whether we're going to see a bit of an incident.
It should be interesting. I'm pretty interested to see how this will play out. But I like seeing RW up front just squeaking out Thalberg, because in what he told me pre-race, he said that Thalberg has him on out-and-out pace. He was confident that his car will last the entire race, and he's not sure what the tire wear's like for the 935. So Orban is right there, nipping at the heels. Pereira, I mean, we talked about it with the overall stability, and who knows? Stability equals good tire wear. And
yes, it does. Yes, and so does weight as well, which is another benefit.
But the one thing that always comes up, and it's always discussed in the broadcast, is track position. I mean, you can have better tires, you can be less weight, you can be just more stable. But if you're not able to get by the car that's sliding all over in front of you, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's gonna be very difficult for Robert to keep these Porsches behind him. I would guess. Well, I might be proven wrong, but I would guess. Any case, we should briefly discuss what's about to happen. We're about to go into a formation lap, which is a top speed of 100 kilometers per hour or 62 miles per hour, depending on whether you're English or not. That's the formation lap. They come round, they line up alongside each other, and it's a standing start. And we will see whether anyone actually gets off the line well or not. And then we've got 22 laps of racing, so it should be a 45-minute plus race. So be prepared to sit with us and bear with us, and, and enjoy yourselves.
Yeah, and it's always good racing. Nice to see these cars getting out for the first time in this, the new renaming of the series. But the mod seems good. It's nice to see different cars up front as well too, especially at such a big track like Spa. Not quite as close with qualifying as it was last year with the old mod. But I don't know if we could ever duplicate that. I actually wish I would have loaded that photo on the broadcast here, just to show people who are not familiar with this series how close it was. It was quite spectacular. But if you're not familiar with Touring Pro Series, if you happen to have stumbled across us, you can actually go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/TouringProSeries, where you can get all the updates, all the information regarding Touring Pro Series, which will also lead you to our website at TouringProSeries.com. You can sign up there. Our forums are hosted at Inside Sim Racing, where the boys over at the show there provided us with a home to house what we do, and we've plugged their commercials. Great show. If you haven't checked them out, make sure you do. But we will continue on. We've got a couple other things coming up. I might as well, while we're on this formation lap, just give you a quick shout out to what we've got coming up. We have in the near future, we have the Virtual Carrera Cup. Now, Toby, you can attest to what's going on there. It's immense what's happening in the Carrera Cup.
It's absolutely mental. You've got one of the biggest fields we've ever seen in the Touring Pro Series, 2 servers, and pre-qualifying, the entire first 32 that will go into the top server, were covered by less than 0.4 of a second.
Wow,
it's absolutely insane. Everyone who was doing pre-qualifying was not expecting it to be that close, and it just was. And there's some very strong drivers who have missed out on that top server. So
absolutely.
I only snuck in at the final moment, so it's going to be very interesting to see who does well at Monza and who doesn't.
Well, and we've got the first round will be coming up from Monza. Which should be very interesting to see. We've got 2 servers racing, so there will be back and forth. A lot of drivers attempted to get in, so we've got that. We've also got Like we, as if you're not familiar, we are now into our winter series, which is the virtual mini challenge, the virtual Carrera Cup, the virtual Touring Masters, and virtual SuperTech series, which is the 4 series we will be running throughout this winter time. And they're all at different times. Again, if you're not familiar with us, you can check us out at TouringProSeries.com or Facebook.com/TouringProSeries. And this way you can keep up to date. Make sure you don't miss a single broadcast. Also, as soon as the racing is done, the broadcast will be posted right to our YouTube page, which is youtube.com/TouringProSeries. And you can, if you've missed some of our racing, if you'd like to catch up, if you'd like to know more, you can watch every broadcast we have done for, what's this now, 4th year, Toby?
Oh, I don't know. I've lost count.
I did the math one time on the hours that we provide, the hours that we have done of live broadcasting, and it's pretty staggering. We stick to what we kind of have as our niche, and that is touring car racing. We try to provide the best avenue for it, the best competition, the best officiating, best broadcasting. It's just trying to bring it in and give it a little more professional feel, so that it's virtual motorsports in your living room.
Yeah, it's a good little niche that we've actually got going on, isn't it? We do provide the best touring car racing on the planet, I would say.
I would say so. Well, virtual touring car. I mean,
yeah, of course. Yeah.
Where if this was real touring car racing, we'd have Matt Neal or something. But we're just going to be finishing up this formation lap as these guys are just snaking around. They're going to be taking their spots, and we're going to be waiting for the lights to go out to start off the first race of this new season of the virtual Touring Masters. So any predictions while they line up, Toby?
Only that Robert Wiesenmuller will be passed on the first lap. That's my only prediction.
Okay.
I don't know who's going to win this race. It depends on how people look after the tyres. Jesper Talbot, we know, is very good at that. He's got to be the favourite as the reigning champion, but how can you predict? It's a brand new mod.
We can't predict. That's just it. So we've got the rest of the guys lining up here. As I can see, I'm actually looking at Tveit on my other screen here, just to see, because he's the last car that needs to slot into line.
The lights are about to come on, Keith.
Yeah, we're going to see the lights here for the first time in this season. We're live here at Spa, waiting for the lights. We've got red. We're waiting for them to go. Green. Away they go. It's the start of the virtual Touring Masters. And as you predicted, Robert Wiesenmuller is being passed. But he's got it. He's holding it tight. And Wiesenmuller takes it. Orban sneaks in ahead of Thalberg. And who is that? Pereira, with his stability, squeezes through into second. Pereira. Now,
can he hold it?
No, this is what he said. He said,
"Look at the start Wiesenmuller's got, by the way.
Gone."
That's amazing. Orban and Talbot got together at the first corner. Pereira is smashing them at the moment. If he can hold that all the way to the end of the straight, he'll get the advantage all the way through the second sector. But Jesper Talbot has got such a run on him. He's got such a straight line speed advantage.
I have to point this out. Eric Tveit is up to 11th from 26th already. Just pointing it out.
It's amazing.
Pereira getting passed by Thalberg. As we can just see the difference in overall speed. But Wiesenmuller's not really. I mean, he's kind of checked out.
Yeah, he does this sometimes in the minis as well. He's genuinely flying. Further back in the pack, there's some action going on here. I don't know exactly what's going on. Ortiz was running a little bit wide through there, and perhaps there was a little bit of contact. Tveit, as you say, is up into 10th place now. Has he got connection problems?
He is disconnected.
That's unbelievable. I was so looking forward to that.
Are you kidding me? It's really unfortunate, because he shows these spurts of greatness and then stuff like that. But back to what's actually happening. Pereira has slotted into third, just ahead of Orban. Orban is still close, still early, tires cold. Everyone's got to kind of get into the groove, get things going. But RW in control of the race so far.
What a start, by the way, from Raul Pereira. He's jumped straight up into the second place on the exit of the first corner. Orban and Talbot, I'm not exactly sure what they were doing, smashing into each other at La Source, but Talbot got the advantage and Orban's down to 4th as a result. Gary Lennon and McGregor are status quo, and there's a big gap actually between Lennon and McGregor. I do wonder if there was a bit of an incident through La Source that we didn't quite see.
It's very unfortunate to Tveit gone, but a couple guys have now moved up as a result of that. Celso Ferreira up to 9th, Brugman is in 10th, Pedro Amaral 11th, base Ethan Bass in 12th position.
Look at this, it's Gary Lenz attacking Mate Orban already got right up to him, and Talbot has taken a whole chunk of time out of Wiesenberg in the final section. In fact, he's right behind him. Look at this.
He's all over the back. I think if he can get a good run through Eau Rouge, he should be able to get. He should be able to. Well, he's not pulling as much as you'd think leading into this. Talbot. Oh, there's the speed.
Yeah, there you go.
And stable. He's got a good draft. RW knows he's there. He's defending. He's defending already. He just knows I gotta keep him behind me. And, Talbot's trying around the outside, and he's clear. Oh,
yeah, but
RW
Wiesenberg is sending it. He's sending it. Talbot's run deep. Wiesenberg gets the undercut. Look at this.
And look at it. RW's going to try to hold the outside. He's going to have the inside coming up over here, and he's through. He's through.
Unbelievable.
Beautiful move. These guys are trading paint and not even losing time. Raul Pereira is still 1.9 seconds back of these guys. On lap 2, they're already trading paint.
That is unbelievable how he managed to hold that through that section. I think we should watch a replay of this because RW was side by side. Look at this, side by side. Flat out side by side through the right-hander. Wow. Managed to hold it around the outside and just snuck in front.
Too.
And he snuck in front and dived down to the inside to make sure he held it. It was a fantastic defensive move from RW.
Very clean, very good racing by these two TPS champions.
Yeah, and that's what you get at the front of the field. Jesper Talbot, as we know, is a quality driver, and he managed to get through on the straight, but perhaps left the door a little bit wide and then ran deep. Well, he'll have another go, no doubt.
Oh, for sure.
He's there.
You know that he's there. He's close. Just a little further back. I think the time that is being made up by Talberg, and we saw this in qualifying, was in the first sector. So we can expect to see RW able to defend in this part of the track, but we need to be keeping an eye on him when they go through the first sector, as RW gets a little bit loose. But if you step back just a couple drivers here, this is getting tight in here. The two Porsches are closing in on Pereira, and also just in behind them, McGregor is now closed in on Lennon. So this could be a battle that's heating up very closely in the very near future. But we're now finished 2 full laps of racing.
Under the 20 to go.
And we're starting on to the third, as you can see the track temperature is a nice brisk 33 degrees. And this is where we're probably going to see Talberg close. Again, if we hop on board with Talberg, he comes through Eau Rouge, he just gets a bit of a slipstream, and look at the gap close. He's got the slipstream. He's going to get tight through the first sectors where Talberg is faster, but if he can't capitalize on it to stay in front of RW, it's not going to be worth it, because he pulls a nice gap in the last 2 sectors. Is RW nice defensive driving, using all the curb he has to just to keep him in check. Talberg's trying to find a way to get a bit of a run. You can
genuinely see the difference in corner speed through there. Wiesenberg took a tighter line and still gained time on Talbot. It's all going to be about whether Talbot can pass him in that first sector and then stay in front through the twisty bits.
Yeah,
if he does that, then he's laughing.
Well, if you caught that right there, just following through that corner, RW is carrying him a wider line, which is more of a flowing kind of. He's flowing through the corner, allowing the car to carry a lot of exit speed momentum. Talbot seems to be chopping a little bit, and I don't know if that's the result of the car, or if that's just where he has to put the car to make it as fast as he is.
Yeah, it just wants to understeer the Porsche, so you have to turn in early and deal with the understeer, and then get the car to settle and then drive it from there.
It's just such drastically different lines when you watch them coming through, and I mean, we're getting some great camera shots here to see that RW and the car are just floating around this track at the moment.
Ross McGregor and Gary Lennon are right up next to each other and have swapped positions as well. I don't know if Gary made a mistake at any point, but he's now behind Ross McGregor, his fellow Scot. So McGregor is the one to close down Orban. Orban is all over the back of Pereira as well. So
and, if you'd have a quick look back to Andy Bernard in 22nd, just for a moment, we're not quite sure what happened, and I didn't catch it on my screen. In 22nd, just keep heading back. Reese Gardner is now out with a DNF. Wiesenmuller fastest lap. You have a look at his car. The damage he's taken on is pretty extensive as you look underneath there. But I just figured we'd give him a quick shot there because we're not quite sure what happened.
Looks like a hot rod.
Yeah, well, and back at the front though, you've got debris. There's a piece of his car there. RW is coming through Eau Rouge again, and this is where Toby. Now, we were noticing that every lap the gap is getting a little bigger. coming through Rouge and exiting it. So Tallberg is not actually taking advantage of his first sector as best as he should.
Do you think his tyres are going off already?
I don't know. I think that RW underestimated his overall pace, because he said Tallberg was going to smash this race. So it clearly, like, and this is again, we're following on board with Tallberg, watching RW up front, and I can't help but notice how smooth he's able to drive that car. Now, if you go to the camera view, look at the way his car comes through this corner here specifically. Tallberg's tight to the curb, using more curb than RW. RW's keeping the car flowing, using all the track. I don't know. Maybe it might just be me, but I see.
You're spot on. No, you're absolutely right. It's purely the way the car's weighted and how much grip they've got front to back. The Porsche does want to understeer, as I say, and the Celica is a much more positive front end. You can see it's almost trying to drift at every. It's got very sharp turning, and that's how RW actually likes to drive his cars. So it suits him very well.
Yeah, and it's kind of spread out a little bit, and it's kind of the norm at Spa. You don't generally. I've always found that racing does spread out, and you do get your little kind of localized battles between drivers. Tallberg's a little bit back now. McGregor sitting in third.
What happened to Pereira?
Back. Oh yeah, what did happen to Pereira? I don't know if I'm gonna pop on mine here and see if I can actually get a replay of that.
Yeah, feel free. I have a feeling he's spun, to be honest.
Let me see. I think it would have happened before. I don't know how far back do I gotta go. He did get into something here. It looks like. Oh, he did. He spun at the chicane, the last lap, and he parked it for quite a while too.
Really?
Oh no! You know what it looks like? Oh dear. Who is that? The Porsche. I might have been Orban. Came up over, went inside of him in the chicane, came up over the curb, and took him out. Raul Pereira down the inside of Tor Anderson, taking a spot back very aggressively. That's just go back to. Oh.
Sorry, there's just 2 tenths difference between these two, so.
Yeah,
they're very tight.
They're very tight. Just 1 second. I just need to verify one thing. I believe that would be Mate Orban. I'll just explain to you what happened to Raul Pereira. This happened about a lap ago in the chicane. Raul Pereira got inside of Pereira, going into the chicane, locked up, went up over the curb, caught Pereira on the left rear quarter, spun him around and got him into the wall hard. And he was parked there for a little bit, and I do believe he stalled, so he had to start up again. Orban was able to carry on. Pereira was parked. As he tried to get back on track, he got into someone else, and that slowed him down a little bit, and that got him back to 11th. So it looked a little, I would have to say, just from what I saw in my replay, Orban would be at fault there. I just think he a little over aggressive, locked up, and the curb just sent him up into him, and nothing you can do once you're there. He was just a passenger in a poor pass. So Wiese Mueller now under heavy attack.
This is the closest battle on the track, to be honest with you. There's a couple further back as well, but this is obviously the one closest to the front of the pack, and RW's missed the apex through there. He's got to be careful he doesn't do that too often, because Talbot does have the greater top speed, and he will be able to send it up the inside if he gets a better run through there. So, but he's held onto it for the time being.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's kind of spread out a little bit. We've got a little battle between Yunt and Ortiz coming. Oh, Tallberg fastest lap too. He just went 5 tenths faster than RW's gone so far.
Look how close he is as well through here. He might even be able to have a go into Eau Rouge here.
Ooh, that battle with Ortiz and Yunt. Someone was just off. I believe it was Ethan Bass. So Ortiz and Yunt bump up a little bit.
This is the closest Talbot's been. I think he'll do him this time round.
He's close enough that he almost went by the outside the last time around. Well, the second lap. RW now going defensive. He's got the run. Tallberg to the outside. Headed into 3. Can't quite do it. RW getting a little squirrely under braking. Holds the outside. Tallberg holds the outside. He's going into the left-hander.
Oh, contact!
RW hangs on. And it looks like Tallberg is really pressing the issue now. He does not want to wait. Tallberg down to the inside! No! No, he backs off. He knows this is a long race. This is a long race.
This is lap 6, guys, of 22. This is going to go on for a while now. I don't know which one this is going to shake out, to be honest. I don't know what the time. I was thinking, oh, he's got Squirmy. Surely he's through. Surely Talbot is through. No, yeah. He's managed to cut him off.
Yeah, and Talbot is just. This is the most menacing time in for RW, because for all he's doing to keep him behind him, it is affecting his tires. Talbot is in the driver's seat at this point in time because of this, and he knows it. Talbot knows what he's doing when it comes to this position of applying pressure, trying to get people to make mistakes. He's a TPS champion, probably one of the best drivers in TPS, if not the best, for just his overall results and everything. He's a Hall of Famer, and you can just see it here. RW is under heavy attack, but while this is happening, Ross McGregor quietly closes in. He went from 6.3 down to 5.3 in just 2 sectors. So that's a second. So the more they battle, McGregor consistently. I'm going to actually quickly look at his times and see how consistent he's going at this point.
Yeah, Orban's made a mistake as well at some point. He's down. Oh, look at this. Talbot on the outside.
Nope.
No chance.
Do it there. Not going to do it there. That's it. I think it's more of a hello, I'm here, and I'm going to get you kind of thing. Oh, Carlos Ortiz is out. I'm going to just quickly bounce back to him and see if we can get on him and just see what happened. Let's see.
What's happened here? He's just spun and hit the barrier and decided not to carry on?
Let's see here. So he enters the corner sideways. Now I think he just bailed. Now he might.
Oh, I reckon he stalled and he hasn't got a button to start it up again.
Oh, no way.
I reckon.
Yeah. He might, because I don't think he got contact there. He might.
No, that's what I think. 1/10 between these two. They're fighting again into Lake Coombe. RW looks sketchy as hell right now. I don't know whether he's got any rear tires whatsoever left, but
well, and again, the gap is now, what is that, 5.0, I believe it looks like. Ross McGregor ran a 14.9. Then a 15.2, then a 15.4. So this is the time he needs to be putting fast laps in. He's down to 5.0. He's dropped it. He's now closed the gap 1.3 seconds in just a matter of 1.5 laps. And Lennon is also closing in as well too. So this battle up front does.
Porsches look good, don't they? Oh, Talbot's hit him! He's off! He's off! He's in the wall! Oh, W's in the wall! What's happened to Talbot? He's spun as well!
And McGregor's through to the lead! McGregor is through! McGregor is through to the lead! Wiese Mueller, Lennon is through! Lennon up to second! Wiese Mueller and Talbot get going again! Talbot is ahead of Wiese Mueller! If I was him, I would definitely concede the position.
Ah, no, Talbot's behind Wiese Mueller. Look at this! Wiese Mueller has got his gap back, but he's 8.3 seconds now. Get Lennon behind McGregor.
Wow.
And how far is Wiese Mueller off the lead? We'll find out through this next sector, but about... Oh, it's 3.8 and 4.8. So
well,
Lennon...
Let's have a look at that again one more time. I want to see I think Talbot just misjudged his braking zone going in there. So.
Absolutely, that's exactly what happened. He smashed into the back of him, but he was just a little bit late to the party on the brakes then, wasn't he?
I mean, it's coming into this corner. Now this is, again, the difference in lines. Look at how wide RW starts his corner. And this, I've been pointing this out. Look where Talberg's starting to turn in. Talberg's already turned in, and Wiese Mueller is turning now. And what happens is he understeers and gets into the back of Wiese Mueller as they approach the apex, because he apexes so much later, and Talberg's momentum going forward is just too much. Definitely just a misjudge. Talberg should have just been give a little bit more room there, but hopefully there's no damage to Wiese Mueller's car. He can get.
Well, that's what I want to look at now. I want to see if there is any damage. I think there might be a little bit of cosmetic damage, but nothing too bad.
No,
actually, you can't see hardly anything, to be honest. So I think he's got away with it, but whether or not they'll be able to catch back up to McGregor and Lennon, this is throwing a cat amongst the pigeons, hasn't it?
This is huge. I mean, McGregor quietly, as I said, the gap was closing. He was hitting nice laps, and now he is in the lead of this race with the two quickest guys. Now they got to get through Lennon. He's got a little bit of a buffer zone with Lennon in second, and Talberg is gapped to Wiese Mueller now. So
this is going to be.
Look at this.
I know, yeah. This is in fifth place.
Fifth place, just quiet. These are the quiet runs. Now let's just check how everyone else is doing. We got Taplin in fifth, Orban in sixth after getting into Pereira early on. David Yunt up to seventh. He is a few seconds back of, about 7 seconds back of Orban. Ethan Bass is in 8th. Lars Brugman is in 9th. Pereira, after getting into it with Orban early on, is now in 10th. Sousa Pereira in 11th. Auchinleck is in 12th. Or Anderson is in 13th. Shepard is in 14th. Close to on Anderson, so this could be a nice battle shaping up here between these two drivers. Demelin, Lukáš Demelin is in 15th. 16th is Anderson. Now, I'm not sure, brothers, I believe.
I'm not sure. They've got the same surname. They're both in the same series. They must be brothers. That's how it works, isn't it?
Yeah, Tony Matthews 17th, Andy Benarin 18th. You can say his name.
Kwiatkowski.
Thomas Demelin is... I apologize. I am terrible with names, and it's my own fault. It's something I'm working on. And Pedro Amaral in 21st. I believe he must have got into something a little early on. But
I wonder if he's pitted.
He must have. But back up front, this is the man. Ross McGregor leading 4 seconds over Gary Lennon. He's got to be just...
This is going to be amazing. This is ramping up for the second half of this race. This is going to be incredible. I want to see whether RW can actually overtake these guys in the Porsches.
Well, I mean, he's closed quite quickly on Lennon within just a lap. RW sliding it out of the hairpin there, and he's closed quite a bit. He was it 3.8 seconds back, give or take, like right away, and he's closed within a lap. So I'm going to quickly check Lennon's lap times. He did a 2:61 last lap. He's not quite on the pace, but RW is going to have to close. He's going to have to start planning. I mean, track temperature's going up. Tires are going to start getting hot. And you know that's going to have affected his tires, that incident they just had.
Oh, no doubt. They were sideways for an extended period of time. They will be burning hot when they rejoin the track. So
absolutely.
Look at the grip that RW has compared to the Porsche as he goes sideways.
As he slides sideways. But see, again, the Porsche has a completely different run around this track because, like you said, it's the weight. Where you got to turn and see tight in. Actually, that time he was the Porsche was a little wider than the.
Yeah. I'll give you a couple of comparisons, just to give you an idea. The Celica has 400 brake horsepower approximately, and it weighs 860 kilos. The Porsche has an extra 50 brake, and it also has an extra 200 kilos pretty much. So you can see it's more powerful. It's also 4-speed, not 5, so it's hasn't got the sort of range through the range. So on a longer geared track, it's a little bit disadvantaged. So in these twisty sections, RW definitely has an advantage.
Well, and it's I do believe that with the fact that right now that RW did come out ahead of Thalberg after the incident, I would chalk that up to a racing incident. I don't think RW would consider it a malicious thing. He just difference of lines, misjudged his speed. These guys are champions. They race together. They know that stuff like this happens.
It's also not for us to say when we're trying to look at a replay on the fly as well, absolutely. Who was at fault for that. But
no, of course. I mean, I'm just saying my personal opinion. I don't think that would be, but that's up to the officials to decide. Who knows? Jesper could have been screaming in his helmet, "I'm going to kill you," as he goes as 2:14, 2:71 sets the fastest lap. He is on a mission. Obviously, his car's working good. His tires can't be that bad because he just went 0.3 faster than he has all race without a draft. So McGregor is 4.5 seconds clear of this battle as RW gets into the slipstream of Gary Lennon. As he closes, Gary Lennon goes defensive. RW slipstreams, looking inside, outside, goes to the outside. RW is on the outside, trying to go around Lennon for second place. Can he hold it? Headed in under the braking zone. RW squeezes him down. Contact, he's through. Book it. RW.
What a move!
Second, what a move!
Round the outside.
Oh. RW goes around the outside.
He's not always the best at overtaking, is RW. Sometimes has a little bit of contact, and perhaps his spatial awareness could be slightly better, but that was pretty damn good, and Lennon didn't quite have an answer for that.
That was an impressive pass.
I have to say, I thought it would take him a lot longer than that.
That was extremely, what's the word? Very authoritative. Like I'm taking, this is my move. I'm committing. He went outside. They were dead even when they started braking, and RW just lifted off the brakes just a touch so he could get position, squeeze down. I mean, concentration of 10, 20 right there, all day.
Yeah, you've got Rob Taplin doing a fantastic job, by the way. In the Capri.
I mean, we're not mentioning much, but I mean that's fantastic.
That's a Capri that is perhaps not well suited to this track. It's a decent all rounder, but it's definitely lighter than the more powerful Porsches.
It'll come into play as the season goes out. This track plays into the heavier cars with more power. Now you've got Orban closing on him a little bit. Orban showed quite a bit of pace early on, but got into a couple incidents. As he drops the wheel, Taplin, all commentators curse. We're talking about him, and he drops the wheel, and he concedes the 5th position to Matej Orban. So, as we talk about it, maybe we should just take the camera off him for a little bit here. Maybe give him a little bit of a break. But up front, we've got Gary Lennon now is looking back on Jesper Tolberg as he's closing in on him quite quickly. And Wiesemuller has now pulled away from them. Oh, and Gary Lennon goes deep into the chicane. Tolberg's going to get a run, and I think Gary's going to have to be a little defensive here. But Tolberg, it's kind of it's going to be a kind of inevitable with the pace that Tolberg's showing at this point. Tolberg just gets a beautiful run. He's got a nice slipstream. He's got a little bit of distance.
I see him gaining. Does he gain enough though? That's the question.
That's the
really?
question. Yeah. And again, McGregor, while we're watching this, just banging out like not flyer laps, but consistent laps, mid to low 15s every lap. And that's enough to keep him out front with a nice gap, as Tolberg is doing everything he can to get by Gary Lennon and do what he can to chase down McGregor and Wiesemuller. He's the fastest guy on the track currently, but it doesn't matter. If you're fast lap, do not win races.
No, he's got to get round him, isn't he? It's as he said earlier. It's all about track position. At the moment, he has no track position, so he's got to get through.
Yes, no, he's got to make a move. He's got to just got to do like RW did and say, look, if I want to have a chance to win this race, I need to get by soon. Oh, Gary Lennon drops the wheel, and Tolberg goes down the inside, and he squeezes through. Lennon he says, I dropped the wheel. Hey man, it's yours. Take it.
Yeah, that was Talbot's way of saying thank you. That's my position. I'll capitalise on your mistake. See you later.
Yep.
So he's through. He's going to be chasing down RW now, and they will resume their battle, I would guess. I think RW won't get straight by McGregor either. But for now, it's a bit more status quo. There's a fantastic battle going on here between Raul Pereira and Bruno Salsa Pereira. They crossed the first sector line exactly the same time away from the leader, so they were side by side through there. And Ethan Bass, oh look at this! Brugman!
Oh, look at this.
Behind Junt, that is. So Junt's obviously made a mistake. He is right behind Ethan Bass. So
Brugman is now just behind Junt. Pereira is a little further back. So Brugman is the third guy in this run here. Junt Ethan Bass is just ahead. Look at the run Brugman's got. This is the difference in these cars. But see, you get a little hairy when you're trying to make a move at those kind of speeds into a braking zone, high speed. If the car's not stable, you know how scary that. Oh look, you know what that's like.
That's the Celica chasing down the Capri, so they've got similar power and weight, but the Celica is slightly more slippery, so it does have a small advantage in a straight line. So
is he going to do it? It's so tight. He's just got to find a way by. Currently, not quite there. Might be able to do it headed in our Rouge there.
These two are pretty close as well. Pereira and Ferreira. That kind of rhymes. Don't know which battle to watch really. I think Brugman and Junt are going to be very, very close going into Lake Coombe. Watching back.
And again, McGregor bangs out a 15.2. Not the fastest lap of the race, but it's consistent. He's been within from the 5th lap to the 11th. He has been within 0.6 of a second every single lap. So very consistent on a track like this, as your tires are changing every single lap. Doing what he needs to do to keep out front. Gap is 4.9 seconds to Robert, and
Tolberg is staying about that time, isn't it?
It is
staying about 5 seconds. So.
RW is last lap did a 14.9, so he is in the 14s. He is quicker than McGregor, but that gap is too big for him to be doing only 0.3 a lap quicker. He will not catch him in this time.
Well, he needs to be. There's 10 laps left in the race, so he needs to be half a second a lap quicker.
He does.
But obviously, you get within a second, so you pick up on the slipstream as well. That sucks you in.
Exactly.
And also, if you've got RW bearing down on you,
this battle is huge. Go back to Lars. He's all over the back of Yunt. He's looking to make a move. Yunt is trying to get by Ethan. Not quite going to do it, but they're all being a little, I guess it looks a little tentative. But first race of the season, these cars, your tires start to go off. You don't want to get into anybody. You don't want to start off the season in a bad way. But you can see these guys are still racing hard and clean. Oh! As we say that,
they're both round. They're both round. Through goes Brugman.
Let's get a quick replay. Look back from Ethan, from the back of his car, and see what happened. And this, just as I'm talking about this, it had to happen that way. I'm gonna shut my mouth.
We always do this, don't we? We catch on the battles, and it always happens. It's Ethan running wide.
He ran really wide, and what happened?
He's lost it by himself. He's lost it completely by himself.
And he collected them. So, yeah, that's very unfortunate. But to the victor goes the spoils. Lars Brugman slides on through to 7th. He's like, "Thank you, boys."
And he's in a world of his own now as well. He's 15 seconds behind Taplin. He's going to be about 10 seconds ahead of Bass. He's going to be in for a lonely race now. If he doesn't spin, which he has.
And just a little inside joke about Ethan. We believe that might have been brake failure. No, we love you, Ethan.
They're still all together. Look at this. They're all still together.
It's still good racing, and you know what? It's unfortunate, but you got to get to grips with the cars. How they react as the races go on.
Was that a lap down in between them, by the way?
Not a lap down. It'd be that would be.
No, it's Amaral. No, it's Amaral. A lap down. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's struggling a bit.
So he's obviously had a problem or two.
So a few guys out. As we look at the DNFs currently, we have out of this race we have Scott Sovic, Carlos Ortiz, Reese Gardner, Eric Tveit, which very unfortunate that Eric went out first lap. Went from 26th to 10th and then goes out with the disconnection, which is unbelievable. And Rosemary out as well. But up front, we now have, if you look, the gap is closing between Tallberg and Wiesmo as this battle rages on. These two guys, there shouldn't be any bad blood between Yunt and Ethan.
I would hope not, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that Amaral round?
It's
Amaral round. I don't think he can necessarily drive it. I wonder if he's got technical issues, because you don't often see him doing that, do you?
Yeah, no, not often. Might have a problem. And Ethan goes around again. He goes around again.
Wow.
He's losing the back end. He's just getting a little too hot in. That's
see. 2 Porsches in 2 corners, to be honest.
No. Raul Pereira is out of the race. Let's see if we can catch what happened there.
Oh, that's a huge crash. Oh, that's in the same place as Amaral.
See, so we were talking about the balance of the car. Comes off the corner, just accelerates hard.
What?
I'm just not quite sure. So,
has he seen Amaral's car and just panicked?
I think he might have put the brakes on and I'm not too sure.
Wow.
It's unfortunate. I mean,
that's
Raul,
a huge crash. Look at the way his car just spins.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Raul. So another DNF here for Raul Pereira. But up front, Tallberg, this is a sight we're familiar with him closing down on RW. He is now within a second according to these times. But again, McGregor 15.22. I gotta tell you something. This guy has done. He's within again. He's 15.2, 15.5, 15.2, 15.5, 15.6, 15.5, 15.8. Consistent lap time since he's taken over this lead, and that is what he needs to do.
Got a bit of damage on the rear end of his car as well, so I wonder if he's had a hefty knock, but it doesn't seem to be affecting his lap times whatsoever.
Keeping him consistent.
But if anything, RW seems to be losing ground to McGregor. I don't know what the lap times compare like, but I know Biesenmüller was in the 14s.
Well, we've got, actually, I'm noticing that Orban is closing a little bit on to Lennon. We can probably move on from this battle just for the moment. We can head to these guys here. Taplin's 6th, losing the back of Orban. Brugman is just quietly into 7th after just some exciting stuff. Yunt is in 8th. Bruno Sousa Ferreira is in 9th. Alka Klint is in 10th.
Ethan Bass is losing a lot of time. A lot of time.
What happened? Oh, he's in the pits. He's in the pits. He's backing up.
Has he completely lost his rear tyres, do you think?
He must have.
What is going on in the pit lane?
I'm not too sure.
Are they not servicing it?
Let's have a look. We're not quite sure what's happening here. Okay, maybe this pit crew went to go get ice cream sandwiches. Oh, is he missing a front tire? No.
No. Calm down, Keith.
Sorry. Oh, no, he is!
Oh, no, he is!
He is! Well, I knew the car looked funny. Oh, okay, go on. Oh, Ethan. And
Well, there's no way they're fixing
clip.
that.
No,
There's
they're
no
not
way they're
fixing
fixing that.
They've gone home. They said we're done. They want. You know what they've done?
They've gone for Jaeger. They've gone for Jaeger bombs.
All right, okay, not enough with that. Demelin is in 13th, quietly just slotting up there. Anderson is in 12th. Shepard is 11th. Ockerklint is 10th. 9th is Sousa Ferreira. 8th is Yunt. Brugman is 7th, who is doesn't seem to be closing on Taplin. Nice gap there. Orban is in 5th. Lennon is in 4th.
That's going to be the closest battle soon.
I got to say that this is closing. McGregor is now dropped to a 15.9. So
that's a dodgy lap.
This is a dodge. That's enough. That's enough to give
7 laps. 7 laps he's got.
It's enough to give a sniff to RW.
Yeah.
The problem is RW will not want to concede if Thalberg gets to him.
Yeah, but if you look back from McGregor's car, he'll be able to see on occasion Biesenmüller will pop up into his picture. That is more than enough to put you off.
Just don't look in your mirror. Just don't look back.
From experience, trust me.
Just don't look back, man. Just keep your eyes forward. Put the
there they are.
on.
There they are.
There they are. Here,
That's what it is.
Let's hop on board with McGregor. Let's see if we can go in his car. Well, the mirror's not enabled, but yeah, that mirror that's just above to his right there, he is seeing those cars. They're there. They're there.
They're there.
Let's see. We'll look back from his car and see if we can catch a glimpse of them. Oh, and there they are. They're there.
Tell you what, that gap, it wasn't what it once was.
No, it wasn't. It is what it is, though. He's closing, and RW is just playing with fire, dropping a wheel here and there. As we've already seen these cars, as the tires start to go off, they seem to lose a little bit of their balance, and the inertia tends to throw them around a bit.
Yeah, we saw that with
late DNFs here.
Yeah, we saw that with Bass. That's exactly what happened to Bass. I would guesstimate that he's rinsed his rear tires, and look at the flame pop out of the car. Oh, just got it in, just sorted it out. It looks horrible now, that car. I wonder if they're all just trying to make it to the end on these tires. Well, times don't look that bad.
No, they don't. I'm just trying to find that view. We want to look back. Right on board. Oh, that's the view you were saying. What a view that is right there. This is what RW's seeing. He keeps looking over his shoulder and he's like, is he there again?
Actually, Talbot, all joking aside, Talbot is close enough now to have a serious go.
And if RW did not get a good run through our rouges, he's a little bit loose. Let's get on. Let's look through the back wing there. There we go. That's a little better shot. Oh, look at that. Right, that's a great shot, and it's indicative of what we can expect to see if McGregor does. Now, in McGregor's defense, he dropped down to a 15.4 that lap, so he did respond.
Yeah, I think it was quicker than Biesenmüller that lap.
Well,
so
I'll give you the laps here. He did a 15.1 last lap. Or no, sorry, he did not. He did a 15.7. So
there you go.
Biesenmüller did lose that time. He lost 0.4 of a second. So Thalberg will need to make short work of RW if he is to close in on McGregor. And
we all know whose tires are in the best shape right now.
I would say McGregor's.
Really?
Yeah, well, no, but in all fairness, he hasn't had to do much battling. He got the lead. He's just been doing kind of coasting around, taking it easy. He hasn't had to push the car like these guys. Thalberg's been on Route 1 since the start of the game. I mean, he got going and he was pushing for RW the whole start of the race. RW has been trying to defend. He's gone around. He's hit a wall. I mean, Lennon also has rinsed his tires a bit. Orban was closing, but he lost. Orban was within 0.4 of a second.
He's lost a whole chunk of time because Taplin's right back on him.
He lost 13 seconds to Gary Lennon.
Taplin is right back on him.
I think we're going to see a move from Thalberg very shortly here as he's closing in ever so close. Half a second now coming around to finish this lap here.
Look how much grass they take on the inside to pull them in through Blanchimont. It's such a difficult corner to get right, but if you can use that grass and get it consistently right, it does help you.
RW, nice and very clean from RW through there. Not attacking it too hard, which is good because if you get lulled into a false sense of security, and you think you just push a little too hard when your tires are off, and you end up in a world of hurt. You end up in the hurt locker. Not good. So you can see in the distance, McGregor a 15.8. He lost time that lap around. So he's now 3.7 seconds ahead of RW. It's going to close, and you're right. This is the pressure. This is where the pressure is on. The walls are closing in. That's not okay.
Do you think he'll hold it?
I don't know. I don't know. He's got to contain.
Yeah, he has. He's driving as consistently as he can. So he makes up 4/10 in the first sector on RW, but that's purely down to the speed of the car in the straight lines. Nothing to do with necessarily how well he's done that first sector. That'll happen every lap. But RW will make up the time through him. That's depressing. If you're McGregor, you're looking at your splits. You're like, what?
And he's pulled ahead though. He's now 4.1 seconds ahead.
Yeah, but he made that up through the first sector just through the speed of the car though.
Well, this is, you can see the difference in lines once again. That was where earlier on, I believe it was lap 5, Talbot got into the back of RW, which did allow McGregor to go through to the lead. Not on sheer pace, but just consistency and just capitalizing. And McGregor's done a great job to keep these guys at bay, who clearly have shown they have overall more pace lap for lap, like on a lap to lap basis, but McGregor with his consistency is able to keep these guys back there, and it's become a 3-car race. And I mean, we still got a few laps to go here. We got what, 4.5 laps to go.
Yeah.
Taplin is by Orban into 5th.
Has he got no tires left, Orban, or something?
No, I think he's cooked him, and that's why he fell off of Lennon. We don't want to miss this here, because I know that something is coming.
Any small mistake and Talbot will be there.
Yeah, it's just he's just got to hold on. RW just using every bit of track he can, so he does not get out of shape.
He's lost time again.
And look, McGregor pulled away 4.4 now.
Yeah.
He's gapping in the second and third sectors, but he's losing in the first. RW using every bit of curb as he almost puts the car on 2 wheels there, it looked like.
Back to 4.1. See, RW's final sector times are very... Oh, Talbot could get it stopped. It looked like he was going to clean up RW through there.
Well, this is RW in a... or this is Talbot now, just like, I have to get by. If I have any chance of winning this race, I need to be by. So can he get a run going through Eau Rouge? Talbot,
yes, he can. Oh, look at that.
This is going to be for second place. There's no way you can stop this. Offensive. I think that I don't know. It's hard to say.
It's the half the racing line, but I think that was too late from RW then, to be honest.
Oh, look at this.
He's nearly squeezed him off the track. RW's tires have gone.
Yeah, his tires are gone. I don't think that was intended. He actually locked up and went to the left side of the track with the car. And this has now allowed McGregor to slip ahead to 4.6 seconds. Talbot down the inside. No, RW defense. He's literally on. He's just trying to retain this right now. He's containing second place. He's conceded that McGregor is gone. I am not going to give up second place because he's no longer focusing on fast laps, getting ahead to catch the leader. He's like, anything I can do to keep this spot. But there's too many laps. Talbot has too much. He has more pace, and his tires seem to be on.
The other thing I would say, you can't change the brake bias in most of these cars. So he started the race off with the brake bias that's correct for the full fuel, but if the fuel's gone down and the weight's transferred more to the front, you need more rear brake, you need more front brake bias, and he's not able to change it. So that could be a reason as well.
Ooh, you can see he's really sliding all over the place, and he's just struggling in every. Seems any transition zone where you're like changing pace. Oh, and he's just twitchy.
His tires look like they've completely gone.
They've just.
It's so sudden. Look at this, 5.7 seconds. He's lost a second.
McGregor is gone now, unless Talbot gets by now, and just starts laying down laps. This is McGregor's to lose.
4 seconds. 4 laps left, and it's 5.7 seconds or 5.8 for Talbot. I don't know even if Talbot can do that. 15.7, it's not that bad, really.
Yeah, and McGregor, again, he's not falling out of the 15s. He just did a 15.8 for that lap. They're 5.7 seconds. Let's see where they are when they get by the split, 5.5, so they've closed a touch. But RW is at this point now hindering Talbot's progress to catch the leader. And McGregor...
That's, by the way, a prime example of the gearing of the Porsche. Just couldn't get out of the hairpin as well as Beasley's cars. Not to do with traction, that's pure gearing.
Well, let's see.
It's only got 4 speeds. Only a 4-speeder.
Let's see him come up through Eau Rouge. And look at this. Look at the run he's got. You can see he's got the slipstream. And RW's now just looks like he's sitting still, but he's going to go defensive. Talbot to the outside. Is he going to do it? Is he clear? They rub wheels. Contact. Oh, they're into the wall. What happened there? Contact and under braking. RW sends Talbot real wide. Talbot is into the wall. I believe he's taking damage. I believe he that was a massive hit.
Want to zoom out a bit. It's not too bad. I don't know whether he slammed into the wall sideways and probably got away with it.
We gotta pull this
Definitely
back
need to replay this.
What exactly happened here?
Is this RW just squirming, or is he trying to squeeze him? We're going to need to watch this from off board.
Yeah, I know. Let's see here. I'm not too sure. I'm going to go on board with...
I think he's got sideways. I'll be honest. I think he's got sideways under braking, but...
Under braking. Comes up.
Has he hit him there?
He just...
Perhaps he just didn't leave enough room. Perhaps RW didn't leave him enough room under the braking. Oh, it's so close though, isn't it? You're talking about a couple of inches.
I just gotta see. Oh, you know what? He just caught him under braking.
Yeah, it's so tight. It's so easy to do. I've done it before.
I have too. I've been in that position where you're under braking. You think you're clear.
He was trying to squeeze him.
He tries to squeeze across, and then when he brakes, there's just the overlap. You're talking the slightest bit of overlap that will pull his car and send him off. I mean.
Nothing malicious about it, but RW should be further right than that, in my opinion.
Yeah, he should have given him a bit more room. He shouldn't have pushed the issue. But now that sends Tallberg back to third. Nothing really changes in relation to that. But that actually puts McGregor almost in, I'd say, safe clear zone as he comes around to lap a car.
69 though.
When you're now you've just seen the gap has opened up in that manner. You know that it's okay. Let's take it easy. Let's not make any mistakes. Let's pull her back a little bit. Let's take control of this
very
race.
Close. This would be his first Touring Pro Series win.
Yes, it would
as well. So the pressure is humongous on him.
It's huge. I'm gonna quickly while we follow along with that, I'm gonna actually quickly look and get some statistics on Mr. McGregor. And you can actually check this all out yourself by going to results.touringproseries.com. Every driver that has ever competed in the Touring Pro Series has an archive of information of positioning, where they finished, which races they've done, all the information you need.
Yeah, when we sound like we're knowledgeable, it's not that at all. It's just we're clicking buttons.
We really have no idea what we're doing. But he actually did win a race in Knockhill, but that would have been in
Server 2.
So his best finish, which is Touring Masters, is a Albert Park V8s in 2012. Did win a race there, but that would be
again
Server 2.
Yeah,
okay. I'm just curious because McGregor, this would be a huge deal for him. So in Server 1 racing, his best finish looks to be a P3, which was Salzburg Ring in Season 4 of Virtual Touring Masters, where he finished third position. So he's got last season in VTM, Virtual Touring Masters, he got a fourth, 4 fourths, a fifth, and a third in that championship. And this is going to be a huge accomplishment. McGregor finally, after it looks to how many races he's competed in now, it's up there. He's done very well for himself, but I mean, we're still a little ways to go. 24 official races he's raced in, and this would be his first Division 1 win if he can close this out with just a lap and a half to go.
He is looking strong, and RW is not gaining on him either. So we'll follow that on when it comes to it. I just want to have a look at this car because this is Simon Shepherd's BMW M1. It's not only my favourite car; it's my favourite livery. And Keith, you've got 2 guesses at what the track is on his car.
That is Nürburgring?
Yes, you got him one. Yeah, Nordschleife. There you go. Yeah, he's literally got the Nordschleife painted on his car.
That's fantastic.
How amazing is that?
That's fantastic. So just another quick statistic. Ross McGregor, 24 races competed. He's now raced in. He's completed at 1,079 laps before he finally is going to lead the race, Division 1 race here, to get himself a potential win as
Tony Matthews in the wall.
It seems that these tires do go off a fair bit,
and I'll be honest, I was expecting quite a lot of people to pit in this race, but obviously you can just about get away with it. It's whether or not the tires. Is that Demolin in the pits?
Well, so last season, McGregor finished third in the Virtual Touring Masters overall. So great finish for him in that series. It was Tallberg won the championship. Tveit was second. McGregor was third. You were fourth. Eunice Rabiot was in fifth. So McGregor basically stepping it up a notch this season in looking to contend for this title. He is comfortably in first position. Reese Mueller is in second. A little bit of contact between him and Talberg. Talberg is in third. Gary Lennon is in fourth. Taplin, with a fantastic run from him, sitting in fifth position. Orban is in sixth. Brugman is in seventh. Yunt is in eighth. Ockercliff in ninth. And the rest of the field will come around. But let's give the man some due here. McGregor closing out. He's just gonna come up to start the final lap here in a second.
He was gifted this, wasn't he? But he's done a great job since that moment. Since that moment, he's taken that gift with both hands, isn't he? He's done everything he needed to.
RW couldn't close the gap when he needed to, and clearly Talberg had the pace to get by him. It put RW under pressure, which got him to stop looking forward. You stop looking forward and you start making mistakes, and that's when we had the incident with him and Talberg. In hindsight, he probably would have been better off letting him by, and seeing if Talberg could catch him, because then Talberg and them would be battling. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's race one of this championship, but you know that he does not want to give up position early in the championship. But Orban misses the chicane completely. That was exactly that corner.
He did that in practice, didn't he?
That corner was exactly where he got into Pereira early on, when I watched the replay on my own computer here. But another quick note I wanted to look at here was
who's that in the wall? Sorry, who's that in the wall?
I didn't quite catch that.
It's a white Porsche. I didn't see the livery. See if we can find it. What's going on here? There's another car wide as well. That would be Mr. Matthews. Seen him in the wall before. Who was that in the wall then? There's a white Porsche in the wall. I don't think I was seeing things, but it is possible. What if it was Demolin?
I would have, if that was the most recent DNF, then it could possibly be. Now, just a note on Rob Taplin. All of his previous racing experience comes from the Virtual V8 Supercars, where he frequented in Division 2 to start, had a couple of top 10 finishes, and then he did, I believe, make his way into Server 1 halfway through the season, where he was a mid-table finisher throughout there. But it is fantastic to see him sitting there in a 5th position right currently. For this would be his best finish of his career in TouringProSeries. So good on him. But Ross McGregor, I mean, what can you say? Was handed an absolute gift from RW and Talberg, as he's going to come across the line to take his very first TouringProSeries win, the first win in the Virtual Touring Masters, taking the series lead to start. He has finalized it with his 935 turbo, and we're going to see RW coming up to the line now. Is he going to slow down? I don't know if he is or not. Nope, he's going to continue on. RW taking second place in the Celica Turbo, 10 seconds back, with Talberg finishing third, a little ways back. Gary Lennon should be coming across the line any moment. Gary Lennon will be 4th position. Good finish for him. These cars are, I think, cars are about, I don't know, these cars could be his children, I think. That was an old joke, I know. Rob Taplin completing his finish with a 5th place, and coming across the line in 6th is going to be Mate Orban, after struggling very much so with his tires, as Brugman almost got to him. Brugman finishing in 7th position, and that's David Yunt, I believe, going to be coming across in 8th.
He's done a good job, David Young. We haven't spoken to him much, but he got caught up in the incident with Ethan Bass.
Yes.
He's just done a solid job to finish 8th place. As has Lars Brugman. Yeah, you didn't see Lars Brugman make a mistake either, did you? So.
No, it's just
what exactly are they doing?
I'm not too sure, just easing by. But David Yunt crosses the line in 8th position. A couple guys that are just some laps down here. In 9th position, we're going to have, that is the Nürburgring car of...
There's a Lancia just in front of him as well. These two are racing.
Oh, this is the race to the line. That is...
literally.
Yeah, this is right to the line here. Coming across, there's a bit of damage to these guys here. As they come across the line, it's going to be Ockercliff, Shepard, 9th and 10th. So they were battling right to the very end. And then Sosa Ferreira coming across in 11th. Quite a few DNFs, but I mean, again, new car, kind of figuring things out, tires, wear, what have you. But should be interesting because we've got a nice array of tracks that are going to be coming up this season. So very, very excited to see how the season plays out. But currently, Ross McGregor sitting with the first win in this mod. So
I'll tell you what. By the way, RW and Talbot, that is not. We're not going to hear the last of that. That's going to happen all season. Those two guys look very closely matched.
Yeah, I know. I think so too. And I think McGregor's going to nip on the heels pretty well all the time. But I do think the 935 is going to be a little bit handicapped at some of the shorter tracks because of the gearing. And we'll see as the season plays out. But great finish, great run today going through. We're going to get some interviews with some drivers. Just hold tight. We'll be right back with a few driver interviews. So hold tight.
Inside SimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
And we are back live, just finishing up at Spa for the first race of the Virtual Touring Masters. A little bit of excitement, a little bit of heartbreak, but all in all, it was good racing. We saw some highs, some lows, but we also saw some firsts for people as well too. We're going to get some interviews with a few drivers. We're just waiting to get Ross McGregor into the booth here with us so we can have a word with him and just see if he's elated with his first Touring Pro Series win after quite a few tries. Ross is joining with us shortly here. But I mean, all in all, great racing today. We saw people struggling with the cars a little bit, and I'm sure that will fade as we get on in the season. But we're now joined by Ross McGregor, who has now taken his first win in Touring Pro Series after 26 attempts. So, Ross, how are you feeling about things after that race? Hello, Ross. We do have Ross here. I'm just not quite sure. Maybe his mic is muted. Ross, can you hear me? Okay. Well, while Ross sorts that out, we've got in here Robert Wiesemuller. Toby, you want to have a word with him?
Yeah, we had an interesting race from yourself, Rob. A fantastic pole position. Converted it into a massive gap on the end of lap 1. I predicted you to be overtaken before Lake Coombe, of course, but a couple of incidents with Jesper. How did you feel about both of them? Rob, RW? Is anyone here? To be honest.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, let's have a word with Mate. Let's have a word with Mate Orban then. Mate, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Right, excellent. Someone to actually talk to. Let me know. How did you feel about the race? I know you qualified quite well, and then you seemed to drop back. There was perhaps an incident between yourself and Pereira.
The qualify was perfect for me. Then the first few laps was okay, but I was quite stressed and out of focus. And then I tried to follow Raul, and I don't know, maybe I hit him or just missed him. I don't know. I have to see the replay after this. And I have lots of mistakes. I
Yeah,
spun 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
Maybe
Was
there
that down to tire wear though, or was it just mistakes?
No, just lack of concentration, and I think maybe the brake BIOS was not right, and there's no chance to change it in the car. So that was only mistakes and maybe a bit brake problems.
Yeah, it's. Can you actually change the brake bias mid race in your Porsche?
No.
Yeah, you see, I thought that was the case. It means you've got to set it up safe, haven't you?
I don't know. The whole race was ups and downs. Try to keep a good pace, and there always a mistake.
Yeah.
After that.
Fair enough. Well, you did a decent job. Finished well inside the top 10, so it's a good start to the season. Hopefully, you'll carry the pace over to the next few rounds.
Yeah, very, very, very well done today, Mate. And we're joined now by with race winner and 27 attempts, got his first win in Division 1 here. Ross, congratulations on getting that win here today.
Thank you very much.
You were there was some obviously contact between the two leaders. You did capitalize on that. You were very, very consistent. When you watch this back, you'll see we were noting that you were doing exactly what you needed to do to stay up front. What was going through your head once you got the lead? Like, just talk me through how the race went for you.
What was going through my head when I took the lead? It was, oh no. And it was only like 8 laps in, so I had 14 laps to kind of not think about the fact I was in the lead and I never won a TPS race. But actually at the start I made a really bad start and down to 6th, and at turn 1 I actually got damaged front and rear. So actually I was about 1 second a lap slower than I was in practice. So I'm kind of surprised I finished first, but quite happy.
Well, I mean, we did note that you were very consistent with your lap times. You were doing mid to low 15s consistently, and that was what you needed to do to keep that gap because they were battling behind you. My question for you is last season you had some good results in Virtual Touring Masters. You finished 3rd in the championship. You're now leaving the first race with the championship lead. Do you think you can carry this on and possibly challenge for this title?
I think it's quite difficult to say, just with these cars as well. They're so difficult to control. I mean, in one lapse of concentration, you're in the barrier, so it's kind of difficult to say whether you can keep up a consistent run over a season. But yeah, last season I was consistent, but maybe not the quickest, so maybe these cars will suit me a bit better.
Well, it certainly showed today. Congratulations. I know Toby has a question for you, so I'll pass you over to him.
Okay.
Yeah, just one question really. I mean, obviously you've won races elsewhere and you've won a couple of races in Division 2 at TPS, but how much does it actually mean to get your first TPS win? Does it compare to other leagues? And do you hold it in higher esteem or?
Yes, I definitely do. Not to like say anything bad about other leagues or that, but you know, standard of drivers here is much higher, so it's kind of satisfying. Even though there was a bit of luck involved, it is good to finally win a race.
Yeah, in many ways you make your own luck, Ross. So, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I do know that Robert had a little disconnect there. So Toby, if you want to continue on with him.
I think I only got about halfway through my through my first question, but RW.
Yeah.
Decent result, better than you were expecting.
Yeah, better than I expected. I didn't really know where I stood, and I didn't do so much practice immediately before the race. So most of the laps I've done were like 3 weeks back. So I didn't really expect too much. I said, top 7, I would be happy. And in the end, 2nd place. So pretty good. Yeah,
obviously you put it on pole position as well, and by quite a margin. That's not something that you're well known for, but it was a fantastic lap.
Yeah, that was definitely my best pole position I got ever in anything. So I'm very pleased with that.
And your start was pretty good as well. You had a good 2 or 3 second gap. I was saying I thought you might be passed down the long back straight into Lake Coombe, but you managed to get a big enough gap to avoid that.
I think I was kind of lucky at the start because the actual start wasn't that good, but I got a good run out the help, and then I think Torwalk and Oban and Pereira, they all wanted to go at the same time to the corner and just held each other up. So I could get a little gap in the beginning of the race, and it really helped. because then in the beginning I didn't have to defend so hard. I could just drive my own pace for a little bit until it got really tough.
Well, that was also your just to point out. Sorry, Toby. That was your first pole outside of VMC.
It was probably the first time I achieved anything outside VMC, so that's pretty pleasing. I'm happy with that because I can kind of show now that I'm not only good in
You're not just a one-trick pony. No, Robert, good running today. Obviously, things got a little. There was a little bit of contact out there, but all in all, it was some good racing, and should be a good season going forward. We got some good races to look forward to. So, thank you to everybody for joining us in the booth here. We'll do a bit of closing out here, Toby. Some great racing. I mean, I'm pretty happy to be back in the booth. Looks like this is going to be some fun this season.
Yeah, no doubt. It's I'd be honest, my expectations weren't high for a cracking race. And then it just all exploded. Everything happened. We caught everything on the cameras, at the perfect angles as well. Literally, we switched to someone, then something happened. It's craziness.
It was just pure awesomeness.
Yeah, it can be like that though. With a new series, I know it's not a new series, but with new cars and the first time out in them, it can get a bit like that. And it was a bit mad. But it wasn't like there wasn't too much dangerous driving at all. There was a couple of little incidents, but they weren't like malicious.
Nope.
So I'm rubbing my hands together now. I can't wait for Spa-Francorchamps.
Yeah, actually, Spa-Francorchamps is probably one of my favorite tracks to commentate on. The fondest memory leading up to that, just a little going away note, was I commentated on that race by myself from a hotel room. On my laptop when I was deathly sick, and so was Ryan. It was the first time I'd actually commentated by myself, so a little nostalgia for me, and looking forward to moving forward with this, and glad to be back. We got a couple things, exciting things to keep an eye on for, so I'll just put them up there for you. Virtual Carrera Cup, that's enough said. Get the information, TouringProSeries.com. You're not going to want to miss one moment of this series. VMC is also already underway. And again, you don't want to miss any of this stuff. It is, if you thought this was exciting, everything we're putting out right now seems to be it's just gold. And VMC is also on the run. We've also got Virtual Super Tech Series. And the next round of the Virtual Touring Masters will be from Salzburg-Ring. And we'll be Toby and I here again live. Calling it for you. So just want to say thank you to all the viewers. Thank you, Toby. Glad to be back in the booth with you.
Yeah, not a problem.
And thanks to all the drivers. ISR is multi-BC, and just everyone that's been involved with TPS. So thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next time.